Hey guys, it's Officer Bolden here with another safety video. Today I brought my friend Chief Brosen from Loudoun County Animal Service.
Hey everybody, this is Chief Chris Brosen with Loudoun County Animal Services, and this is my partner Dewey. We're here to talk to you guys a little bit about dog safety. So I know there's a lot of times where kids are out playing and they'll interact with dogs. A lot of times dogs will come walking up to them with their owner, and it's really tempting to just go up and pet a dog. But one of the things you want to remember most is that you always want to talk to the owner of the dog before you reach out to try and touch a dog. A lot of times dogs that don't know people will interact differently with the person that they're meeting than the person that owns them. So for instance, with Dewey, if I was walking him and somebody came up to me, it's always best to say to me, hey, can I pet your dog, or is your dog friendly? You want to make sure that you ask that before you interact with that dog. Because like I said, some dogs are really friendly with their owners, but not as friendly with other people. And when they say yes, the first thing you want to do is just put your hand out in front of the dog, like I'm doing here with Dewey, so that the dog can smell you. That's the best way for a dog to understand who you are. They use their noses like we use all of our other senses. They smell so much better than we do, and they pick up on different things. So introducing yourself to a dog, it's best to put your hand out and let them smell your hand before you touch them. When you pet a dog, there's a few things you want to keep in mind. Even if the owner says it's okay to pet the dog, there's a few different things that you want to try to avoid when petting a dog you don't know. It's always best to pet the dog on its back. A lot of dogs don't like hands in their faces or their feet touched, and they don't like their tails touched sometimes too. So the best thing to do when you're petting someone else's dog is to either pet from the neck back or along the side. And it's always best to pet with the fur. If you go against the fur, some dogs don't like that. So when you encounter a dog that is being walked by someone, you want to make sure you communicate with them and get that permission, and also make sure you understand how to touch the dog. The other big thing to keep in mind is even if you have dogs and the dogs like to be hugged, a lot of strange dogs don't like to be hugged. So it's important not to put yourself over top of a dog. That can scare a dog a lot. And also, if you squeeze a dog, sometimes that becomes intimidating. So you want to make sure that you just pet the dog if you don't know it. The other big thing to keep in mind is if you encounter a dog that's just walking along with no one around it, you don't want to run. Even if the dog comes up to you, running can oftentimes encourage the dog to run towards you or to jump up on you. A lot of times it's called prey drive, so dogs will actually jump up on you because you're running or acting in a fast motion. So the best thing to do if a strange dog comes up to you, and what we tell kids to do, is make like a tree. So you want to stand perfectly still and just cross your arms across your body, or keep your arms at your side. It's best to cross your arms up here, because if you have your hands down here and they're wiggling, some dogs can see that as movement, and if they're not friendly dogs, they may try and grab your fingers or your hand. So the best thing to do is just make like a tree and stand still. Okay? You don't want to run from a dog, because a lot of times that will encourage them to jump up on you. The other thing to keep in mind too is if you encounter a dog, it could be out and about for a long period of time, and it could be injured. So it's important that you understand not to interact with a dog that you don't know if the owner's not there. Because if you were to go and try and pet it or help it and it has an injury, it could react to you touching that injury and take that as a threat. So it's important that if you're out and about and there's no owner present, to try and steer clear of a dog, but if it comes up to you, to cross your arms and make like a tree. You should always, if you find a dog out and about by itself, you should talk to your parents. Let them know that the dog is out. Not only for the dog's safety, but for other people's safety as well. It's great to have dogs. It's great to interact with dogs. You just need to make sure you do it safely. And then if you encounter a dog like Dewey, who is awfully wiggly and happy and everything else, that's a really good sign. One of the things to remember with dogs is if they're loose and wiggly, that generally means they're friendly. If a dog is very stiff and rigid, that generally means that they are scared or concerned, and those are the type of dogs that can be dangerous at times. So those are some things to keep in mind. Look at how the dog's standing, holding itself. If it's loose and wiggly, generally that's a friendly dog, but if it's stiff and rigid, that could be a dangerous dog. But the two biggest things that I can tell you is that if you see a dog being walked, always ask permission by the owner to pet it. And if a dog is out on its own, make sure you stand still and don't run from a dog, and that'll keep you safe. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.